I'm not jealous that I didn't get Moonbirds. You're jealous. I didn't even want those stupid birds anyway. They don't even look good. Hey, what's up guys? How's it going? I know you heard about Moonbirds. If you haven't, well, I don't know where you're living, but I highly recommend you look into it if you hadn't heard of it. Now, I definitely did get mad that I didn't win a raffle for Moonbirds. What I did was I used 3 different wallets and unfortunately none of them hit. But in situations like these, I learned something, and that is instead of hating on the fact that I didn't win this or that, I just learned to look at it in a different perspective and ask myself, what can I learn from Moonbirds? So for next time, if another opportunity, which there will be another opportunity like Moonbirds to arise, what can I do to identify an opportunity like that and what I should do next time? So in this video, I'm going to teach you 3 main things that I learned from Moonbirds and how you guys can apply the same thought process when it comes to future NFT projects. But before we begin, I'm going to start with giving you a brief intro about Moonbirds. Moonbirds is a project by Kevin Rose. He's an entrepreneur. I talked about him previously on this channel. So he launched something called Proof Collective, which has a floor of 84 ETH, which is basically these. What they noticed is people really wanted to use these as profile pics, but they could not because, well, they all look the same, number 1, number 2, and they don't look good on Twitter or whatever. So they decided to launch Moonbirds, which is a 10,000 PFP collection, which looks like this. They look pretty cool, even though it's pixel art. I'm not the biggest fan of pixel art, but they do look really good. And they're very well made. Floor currently is 18.4 ETH, and they launched about 3 days ago at the time of filming this video, and launch price or mint price was 2.5 ETH. Now, it jumped after mint all the way up to 8 ETH. I was watching it dip down to 6 ETH for a very, very brief moment, then back to 10, 12, and the day after I woke up, it was 19, 20 ETH, and right now it's currently stable at around 18 to 20 ETH. Do I feel FOMO? I definitely do, and I do understand that you feel the same, because every time you look on Twitter, everywhere you look on Discord, people are talking about Moonbirds this, Moonbirds that. But again, as I said, change your thought process and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? So, let me start by taking a look at Moonbirds, their website. This is how they look. As you see, mint price was 2.5, 10,000 supply. Obviously, this is irrelevant now because it's sold out. This is how they look. Moonbirds are more than just an avatar. They're a collection of 10,000 utility-enabled PFPs that feature a rich, diverse, and unique pool of rarity-powered traits. So their roadmap is obviously number 1, building a community. As everything, it gives you access to the Proof Discord, to certain channels in Proof Discords, and they're calling it nesting, which is just a better way of saying staking. It's pretty cool overall. And then they have something called Project Highrise, which is basically building their own metaverse. Now, what does this teach us? This taught me something, and that is that roadmaps do not matter in the NFT space. Now, before you guys come at me and tell me, no, this roadmap is different or anything and start hating on me, I'm not hating on Moonbirds or Proof. I know for a fact it's going to do very, very well because, as I said, the roadmap does not matter, but the team and the founders do matter. So whether a founder tells you that there is no roadmap or whether they give you the most detailed roadmap you have ever seen and something like you have never seen before, it doesn't matter if this founder does not have a proven track record or someone you can trust to perform. In this case, Kevin Rose. I have another example that I compare with Kevin Rose, which is Gary Vee. And there was this tweet coming around recently, which is saying that Kevin Rose told Gary Vee about CryptoPunks, which shows you that Kevin Rose is really an OG in the space. So for that reason, yes, roadmap does not matter as long as the team is someone who is credible, who is trustworthy, and who is capable of delivering on what they promise if they promise anything. So in this case, I do know for a fact that Proof and Moonbirds are in good hands. But that being said, a lot of projects are promising you things which they do not have any reason for us to trust them because, well, we don't know who they are. So for that reason, this should teach you that focus on teams, bet on teams, and whether the roadmap is this or that, it doesn't matter as long as the person you're betting on is someone you can actually trust and you believe that they will take this project some places. So that's the first lesson I learned. Now, the second lesson that I learned is something that I already said in the first lesson, and that is bet on teams with proven track records. For example, Gary Vee, you can bet on. Kevin Rose, you can bet on. Azuki founders, I think they're anonymous, but you can still bet on them if they come with the same username. Yuga Labs for Bored Apes, CloneX, etc. You can bet on them because clearly they know what they're doing or they are actually trying to deliver the best product out there. Now, in this case, I'm going to give a shameless plug for Terrapin Genesis, which is my project. If you haven't check it out on Twitter. I'm going to link it below. We're making a free mint because we do not want to charge anyone for anything because obviously we do not have a proven track record other than my YouTube channel and a few calls here and there. I haven't showed you guys that I'm able to pull this off. So for that reason, once I prove this to you guys, then you guys would bet on me without even thinking twice, because I pulled this off once and I know I can pull this off once again. So this also taught me that, okay, Kevin Rose did this, Kevin Rose did that, or whoever. I'm just giving Kevin Rose because this is about Moonbirds. This taught me that bet on teams with proven track records. Make sure you know who you're betting on. And at the end of the day, whether the roadmap is this, whether the roadmap is that, whether the art is good, whether it's not, it doesn't matter as long as you are betting on the right teams. Now, the third and last lesson that I learned from Moonbirds is that even though I always say something which is everything correct and everything will drop down in price after that, there are some anomalies, and these are the anomalies that we really have to watch out for. We saw this with Azuki before, where the price dropped post-reveal to about 2 ETH or so, or slightly under 2 ETH, and then instantly pumped back up to 3, 4, 5, and then up to 15, 20, 25 ETH, etc., 30 ETH at one point, I guess. And these are the projects you really want to focus on. For example, Moonbirds, it went up to 9, 8 ETH. I was saying in the group chat of a few Discords that I'm in, I don't think this is going to go any higher. I think it's going to drop down to 5 and 6 ETH, where I would consider an entry. I slept, next morning it's at 15, 19, 20 ETH. What this shows us is that even though everything corrects, and I do see Moonbirds correcting back down, I could be wrong, it could be at 30 tomorrow, or at the time of you're watching this video, it could be at 50 ETH, who knows. But at the end of the day, everything is going to correct, but there are a few anomalies which are really ones you need to watch out for. In this case, Moonbirds, as I said, it was at 2.5 mint, it went up to 9, then dropped to 6 very briefly, then back to 10, 12, 13, 15, 20 ETH. So this price action tells you that even though everything is going to correct, aka 99% of the projects who mint, they mint out, then they pump, then post-reveal they dump, and then they die a slow death, or until something is announced, etc. So in this case, when you take a look at projects like these, this shows you that, okay, this can be something extremely good in the long term. It could be a really good hold. For example, Azuki, as I said, and Moonbirds is similar. And plus, overall, as I said, team is stacked. They have proof, which was at 100 ETH at one point, even after Moonbirds launched. Right now it's at 84, which is not too bad if you ask me. So even though everything corrects, some anomalies are not going to correct. Now, probability wise, you're better off selling everything, I would say, pre-reveal, because probability wise it's gonna drop post-reveal, even though you would be risking selling a rare. But if you're playing a game of probability and rationally and in the most logical way possible, selling pre-reveal or selling at the peak of the hype is ideal. Currently, I think we're like about 48 hours into the sellout of Moonbirds, which I think we can see a drop in price. I don't know if it's gonna go down to 15, 10, 8, I don't know, probably not below 10 or 12, I would say. But if we see that, I wouldn't be surprised, because eventually the hype is going to die down. So if you're thinking of jumping in right now, hey, if you have the liquidity and you're looking at this long term and you're going to buy some at 18, if it drops to 15, you're going to buy more. If it drops at 10, you're going to buy more, which is basically laddering in or dollar cost averaging, then go right ahead. But if you have limited funds like all of us, and you're not someone who's looking long term and you want to do a quick flip on this, I would wait, because it can drop, and it can drop extremely heavily, because Azuki pumped to 30 ETH, a lot of people aped on 30 ETH, and currently Azuki is sitting at about 24 ETH. Now, keep in mind that I'm not saying this is bad, 24 ETH is bad. Like, I would say a month ago it was sitting at 5 ETH, which is an insane return, but I'm just saying that please be careful before entering anything. And because if someone buys an NFT, someone you follow or someone you track their wallets, it doesn't mean you should, because they're playing a completely different game. Some people throw 24 ETH, like us throwing 0.2 ETH, for example. And for some, 24 ETH is their whole portfolio, you know? So make sure you decide what you're doing. I know I went off on a tangent other than the 3 lessons that I learned, but it's just, I need you to be careful, because even though Moonbirds is going to be a very, very good long-term or an excellent long-term play, it's probably not worth tying that much liquidity, because if you're someone who's a trader who wants to grow their portfolio, maybe wait until it makes more sense for you to enter Moonbirds. We might never see 10 ETH again, who knows, but we might. So it depends on your risk tolerance and your risk to reward ratio. So that's it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found value in this. Always make sure when you look at things that happen, such as Azuki, or things you miss out on, such as Moonbirds for me, try to look at the other side and say, what can I do next time so I do not miss this? And what can I do next time so I can benefit from this? And what can I learn from this, essentially? So these are the 3 things I learned. Let me know what you learned from this. Drop down below in the comments. Join my Discord so we can chat about this. We jump on voice calls or voice chat very frequently lately, almost daily. So make sure you check that out. out. And also follow me on Twitter if you haven't already. I've been growing there. I've been showing my thoughts on NFTs and the market overall, and it's going to give you access to quick information quicker than anywhere else. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out. Bye.